Welcome to our deep dive, everyone. All right, welcome to another deep dive. We've got a V86 to go over, but this one's pretty special. This one spans two countries.
Absolutely.
Bjerke in Norway, Solvalla in Sweden. That means we got a lot of races to cover, 8 in total.
Yeah, we got our work cut out for us.
Exactly, it is. It's exciting, though. So let's get started with the first race. V86 won at Bjerke. And right away, one horse seems to be on everyone's radar. Canopus starting from position 5.
Yeah, Canopus is interesting. Recently won a race, which, puts it in the spotlight. But what's important to keep in mind is that a previous, less impressive performance was actually due to a health issue, a hoof problem. So if Canopus is truly back in form, it could be a serious contender.
A bit of a bounce-back story then. But then we have Jackson Avery starting from gate 1.
Yeah.
And that starting position is always,
always an advantage.
it's good to have. And it had a really strong performance last time out. Right?
Yeah, that was impressive. Running right behind a really dominant horse. So if Jackson Avery can grab an early lead,
Right.
it could be really tough to beat.
So we've got two potential front runners.
Yeah, that's shaping up to be an exciting start to the V86.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if they might push each other a little too hard too early.
They might.
Yeah. Now, is there a dark horse in this race that we should be keeping an eye on?
Don't forget about Just Perfect Sisu in position 7. This one was a star in its younger days, struggling a bit recently. But the interesting thing is, Just Perfect Sisu is known for that powerful finish.
Yeah.
So if the pace is fast early on,
Right, they tire each other out.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just Perfect Sisu could be a real threat down the stretch.
Okay, that's V86 1. Let's move on to V86 2 at Solvalla.
All right, let's go.
Now, this race seems a bit more open, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's definitely got a wider field of contenders, but one that stands out is Bjerke WF, starting from position 3. Robust, consistent performer, loves to lead, and honestly rarely disappoints.
Sounds promising.
Mm.
But I'm curious about Aprilia Zoot in position 11. It's coming back after a bit of a break, and I know it's won at Solvalla before.
Right.
Do you think a refreshed Aprilia Zoot could shake things up a little?
Yeah, it's always a question mark when a horse comes back from a break.
Right.
But sometimes those breaks can be beneficial. Give him a chance to rest, recharge,
Yeah?
come back stronger.
Right.
So yeah, Aprilia Zoot could be a factor, especially on a track it knows well.
Yeah, that familiarity could be a big advantage. Now, there's one little detail in this race that really caught my eye.
Okay.
We've got 8 Lexus Tabras starting from position 9. Not only is it dropping down in class, which is always interesting,
Yeah, that's something to keep in mind.
but it's also trying out a new American sulky.
Ah, you noticed that. You're picking up on those little nuances, I see.
Got to look for every edge, right?
Ugh.
But I mean, could that sulky change actually make a difference?
It definitely could. Combine that with the drop in class,
Yeah,
Alexis Tabarez could be a real wild card.
interesting. Okay, let's head back to Bjerke for V86-3.
All right.
What are we looking at here? What stands out to you?
Well, this race is really interesting because you've got a bit of a clash of styles going on. You've got Bjerke Bolt starting from gate 1.
Right.
And this horse has got power,
Yeah?
like undeniable power. If Bjerke Bolt gets an early lead, it could just dominate the race.
Sounds unstoppable. But,
There's a big question mark.
hey,
It hasn't won a race recently.
right, the consistency isn't quite there.
Exactly. So there's that risk.
Right.
And on the other hand, you've got Kringelensack starting from position 4.
Right.
And this one's a picture of consistency. Always seems to be in the mix. Always right there.
Right.
But just hasn't been able to break through for a win
That's fair.
lately.
It's like, it's always a bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe this is its chance, especially if Bjerke Bolt falters.
Yeah, could be. So we've got raw power versus consistent performance.
Head to head.
Really interesting matchup. Now, is there another horse in this race that could benefit if the pace gets really fast? Like if those front runners just wear themselves out?
Absolutely. We got to talk about Kaiser CK starting all the way out in position 13, known for its speed.
Definitely.
So, if those front runners tire each other out early on,
Yeah.
watch out for Kaiser CK. Could come swooping in and steal a victory.
All right. So we've got those front runners to watch, but then also keep Kaiser CK in mind just in case.
Yeah, exactly. Always good to have a backup plan, right?
Right. Now let's move on to Solvalla again for V86-4. What's catching your eye in this one?
Get ready for a bold prediction.
Yeah.
I'm putting my money on 11-year-old mare Tracy, starting from position 11.
Whoa, an 11-year-old mare. That's It's quite a pick.
I know. It might seem a little unconventional.
Yeah.
But hear me out. Tracy has recently joined a top trainer known for revitalizing older horses.
Okay.
And the word is she's in amazing shape. Plus, we've got that potential for a muddy track. And that could actually play to her strengths. Could be a real underdog story in the making.
I love it. But aren't we expecting Only Love, starting from position 3, to be setting the pace?
Only Love is definitely a speed demon,
right.
likely to take an early lead. But the question is, can it maintain that speed over the entire distance,
Right.
especially with that potentially heavy track? Could drain its energy.
Right.
Give Tracy a chance to shine.
So youth versus experience with the weather as a wild card. That's exciting.
It is.
Okay, let's move on to V86-5 back at Bjerke. What are we looking at here?
Okay, so in this race, we've got Frickar starting from position 3. And Frickar's got a bit of a roller coaster story. It had a string of wins. And then suddenly, in its last race, a really unexpected gallop. Unexplained, really. So the big question is, was that gallop just a fluke? Because if it was, Frickar could be back in winning form.
Like it's got something to prove.
Exactly. But we also have to consider Voji Heroes. This one's a powerhouse, like really strong and known for its stamina.
So a tough competitor for sure.
Yeah.
What about Eldbrand? It seems like a bit of a long shot, but I'm always drawn to those underdog stories.
Well, Eldbrand is definitely a long shot, has shown flashes of brilliance in the past. It'd need a perfect trip to win.
Right.
But at those odds, could be a really rewarding bet for those feeling adventurous.
All right, on to V86-6 at Solvalla. Any strong feelings about this one?
Oh, this one. This might be my most confident pick of the night. Spike MM starting from position 6.
Okay.
It's coming back from a break. Already delivered a strong second-place finish recently.
That was promising.
I think Spike MM is the one to beat.
Bold statement.
Yeah, but I'm feeling good about this one. However, we do need to consider Shakmira's in position 10.
Okay.
Been training exceptionally well and, could be peaking at just the right time.
So it sounds like it could be a real duel between experience and raw talent.
Absolutely.
Okay. V86-7 takes us back to Bjerke. Cadillac Star in position 9 seems to be the favorite here. What makes this horse stand out?
Cadillac Star, it has this history of winning from the front, but recently it's also shown an ability to win from behind as well. So very versatile.
Okay, adaptable.
Yeah, exactly. Really dangerous opponent because it can adapt its strategy depending on how the race unfolds.
So it's not just a one-trick pony.
Nope, definitely not. Now, what about Amazing Valley in position 2?
Yeah, is that a legitimate contender?
Amazing Valley has been steadily improving.
Okay.
And its recent training times have been impressive.
So it's hitting its stride.
Yeah, it's peaking at the right moment. Could definitely challenge Cadillac Star.
So a horse with options in Cadillac Star and a potential late bloomer in Amazing Valley. Finally, we arrive at the last race of the V86, V86-8 at Solvalla.
Yeah.
Who are you watching in this one?
The favorite here is Albacete, starting from position 2. But it wasn't particularly impressive in its recent outing, so I'm a bit hesitant.
So you're saying the favorite might be vulnerable. That's always exciting.
And you know who I see as the biggest threat?
Okay, who?
Amazing Hazel, starting from position 7.
Okay.
Been finishing races strong and seems to be hitting peak form right now.
So if it gets a good trip.
If it gets a good trip, I think it's got a real chance to upset the favorite.
A strong finisher going up against a potentially shaky favorite. Sounds like the setup for a thrilling finish to the V86.
Yeah, it could be.
Now, is there a long shot in this race that you find intriguing? I mean, I'm always a sucker for a good underdog story.
Well, if you're looking for a long shot, Global Dependable, starting in position 10, could be worth a small bet.
Okay.
It's going to need a fast pace to set up its late charge.
Okay.
But at those odds, it could be a big payout if everything falls into place.
So as we wrap up our initial look at this V86, it's clear there's a lot of potential for surprises.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think we've covered everything for this V86.
I think so.
Bjerke, Andy, Solvalla.
It's 2 countries.
Yeah. Double the excitement. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive, everyone.
Good luck with your bets.
Yeah, good luck, everyone. Enjoy the races.